strategically and potentially as one movement? These are the 4 burning questions that we're going to ask you to turn into action tonight. I'll say it again. Talk is great, action is better. So that's what we're going to get to tonight. Make sure that you're sitting at a table with a sign. The signs show you the language in which your table discussion about action will be. The letter on the sign shows you which of these 4 burning questions you will be trying to turn into action. So find your language and find your letter. Great. Okay. We're going to be talking about action tonight, but not just individual action, not just siloed action, also collaborative action. You may have been in a last session that talked about the Movements and Moments Coalition. We need to remember that as we go forward. If you weren't there, the Movements and Moments Coalition is bringing leading global organizations together, including the William H. Gates Senior Institute, FP 2030, the International Confederation of Midwives, the World Health Organization, Women Action Sustainability, the International Maternal Newborn Health Conference, and FIGO all together with a shared commitment to sustaining collective momentum across key convenings and initiatives. The coalition is a big way of bringing us together. Tonight is a small way of bringing us together. Just like that coalition, we're going to focus on what we can do individually and together. What is that going to look like? Well, once again, we're going from the conversations to the heat of these questions to being fired up for action. Great. We want you to focus on your contribution. What does that mean? Your contribution is an action, one action that you can and will take as an individual, as a pair at your table, as a small team. It will involve others at your table, at least learning from them, if not acting with them. And it's something that you can start nearly immediately in the next few weeks. So this is what we're looking for in your table discussions. Looking at that burning question that you're sitting at. What is your contribution? What is one action you can take? We might do a little consolidation as we come in, understanding that others are likely coming in late from other sessions that ran late as well. So we can gather around languages if we'd like to, instead of just questions. I'm going to ask you to, as last night, discuss this action, your individual action, and maybe an action you can take with someone else at your table. And then to tell us about that action. Scan the QR code, go to the Slido, tell us what that individual and maybe collaborative action is. I'll remind you when there's a few minutes left for these discussions to make sure that you submit. And I want to let you know that in this Slido, you'll see a few more questions, just your name, your organization, because we would like to share this group of contributions that you are submitting with a broader audience. For that, we need your permission. So you'll see some questions in there. Can we share your name? Can we share your action? Can we share your affiliation? All of that to make sure we have your consent to share your contribution with a broader audience. Okay. And online participants, if you are with us, the Slido code will work for you as well, and the Zoom chat should be open for you. So please think about your action, that contribution that you are making, that stone to our stone bridge. Use the Slido to submit that and chat with others online in the Zoom chat. Okay, we're going to have a little light music to start us off as we begin working on our contributions. Have a wonderful discussion. We'll be around if you have any questions or questions about questions. Go ahead. Hi.
chorar. Chorando se foi quem um dia só me fez chorar. Chorando estará ao lembrar de um amor que um dia não soube cuidar. Chorando estará ao lembrar de um amor que um dia não soube cuidar.
Welcome back to the large ICFP with a small but dedicated group of people who are turning conversation into action. If you are with us online, I am going to encourage you to think about that action, that individual action that you can take on with others to resolve your burning question and submit it at the Slido so that we have that and so we can support you, at least morally, if not otherwise. If you're with us in the room, we have our interpretation back. Thank you, interpreters. And we are going to end in the circle to be able to share what is the action that you are contributing, that you at your level can do, or that you and the person next to you at the table has decided that you can do together. If you are online, you are welcome to follow our audio. You may or may not have our video. We will have a live mic so that you can hear us and we can all hear our interpretation. And let's see the actions that you are contributing. If you can tell us the burning question that you have discussed and an action that you are contributing, who would like to start? Yes.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Ya, ok. Bueno,
Oh, and who are you?
ok. Mi nombre es Mari Carmen Ciesa Tarrillo, somos de Perú, obstetras y el colega de...
De México, psicólogo.
Bueno, a nosotros en nuestra mesa hemos tenido la pregunta de cómo podemos garantizar que el placer y no solo la protección forme parte del trabajo por la inclusión de las personas con discapacidad. Viendo nuestros países y nuestras falencias, pues hemos colocado cero discriminación y derribar las barreras de la comunicación.
Cool.
¿Explico?
Yes.
Ok, esto porque pues una de nuestras falencias es precisamente el cómo nos comunicamos con las personas con discapacidad. Básicamente hablando de las personas sordomudas, por ejemplo, muchas veces nosotros los profesionales de salud no tenemos la formación en lengua de señas, por ejemplo, que esto es una manera que podríamos hacer para poder resolver las dudas, preguntas y ayudar pues a garantizar el placer sexual o el placer en todas sus formas. Sin embargo, pues no tenemos esto. Y lo otro es la discriminación. ¿Por qué? Porque cuando llega de pronto una persona con discapacidad, pues como que no la vemos como una persona como cualquiera de nosotros, sino que lo que primero miramos es la discapacidad que tiene y no resolvemos la pregunta o por qué viene el paciente a la consulta como se debería. Y eso definitivamente es la falencia, así que esa es nuestra respuesta.
Okay. So come back to the action and tell us in one sentence, remind us what that action is, even though it might be a small piece of a lot of work.
Como ya lo decía, fomentar la cero discriminación y derribar la barrera del lenguaje.
Okay, cool. Anything to add? Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Pues sí, yo quisiera agregar, o sea, si pudiera reducirlo a una frase, pues retomaría la misma frase del movimiento por la vida independiente, nada sobre nosotros y nosotros, o sea, como pensar primero en o escuchar a las personas con discapacidad, pensarles como sujetos de conocimiento, como productores de conocimiento, y quizás pensar en que pues el placer sigue siendo una barrera cuando hablamos de planificación familiar, no solo para las personas con discapacidad. Entonces pensar como en distintas maneras de pensar el placer, de pensar lo que significa o lo que pensamos cuando hablamos de sexo, y pues incluir ahí la diversidad corporal.
And who are you?
Soy Aldo de México.
Thank you. Great. Who else? And yes. Good. Thank you. Yeah. Who else? What is one action you are taking individually to chip away at that burning question?
Thank you. The question we addressed was how to influence funding, climate funding towards SRHR, which is a difficult question. And individually, I'm going to COP next week and try to shout as high as much as possible. But in practice, what we wrote in the group work is that we had the impression that in 2000 at COP28, for a moment, climate and health was a priority. With the declaration on climate and health, that seems that there was a space within which SRHR could be addressed. And 2 years later, well, first of all, it took 28 years to have that addressed, which is only 28 years. If we want to stop the sarcasm and go forward, we were hoping that that was the beginning of something. And today I just feel that the big frame that we need, which is climate and health to address SRHR, is not there for us. It's like not the priority in the agenda of the COP. And if you look at the program, that's very clear. There are many things, but it doesn't come with the initiative of the major stakeholders. It comes from the initiative of people like us, civil society, who want to push it. So I will be there, and I hope that some of you will be there with me.
Yes, okay. And what will you do there?
Sorry.
And who are you?
Who I am,
Sorry.
yeah. So I'm Alessandra. I'm the Director for Health and Protection at Humanity and Inclusion. We work on promoting the rights to health for the underserved population, including persons with disabilities. And I'm based in Brussels. I applied for a side event, and both with WHO, let's say pavilion or platform, a space, and in the general side events, and none of those were accepted. So I'm going to be in the public and raise my hand until they give me the mic.
I like that. Way to go. I've also found that provocative t-shirts can get attention. We can design one. T-shirts, buttons. I like that. We can get her a t-shirt, right? We know people.
If you have a good idea, please give it to me.
Definitely. We're going to work on a t-shirt for COP. Pay attention. Half the people in the room should be women. Yeah, yeah. Podemos bajar el volumen de los baffles un poquito? Nos escuchamos demasiado. Cool, let's try. Okay, a little bit less. Okay. We want to hear you, but we don't want you to hear yourself. What else? Yeah. Action that will chip away at your burning question.
Well, my burning question always is how can I empower the two main targets that I care about? One is person, like the woman, the patient, and the provider or the healthcare workforce per se. And to me, my action is I will continue to strive to work towards educating both of them. If I need a change, and hopefully what I leave for this world would be some well-educated people who know what sex and reproductive health means, and a lot of professionals who know what sex and reproductive health means, and to sensitize them to be respectful, non-judgmental, and to understand that it's not about them, it's actually about the person in front of them. So if I could do that in my life, couple of students at a time, couple of patients at a time, I feel like I can retire happily and not do anything else after.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. I was going to ask what does that look like, but when you said a couple students at a time, a couple
Well,
patients at a
you know, I'm
time.
in a teaching profession.
Yeah.
I think the whole part of doctor comes from the word doctoring, which actually means being a teacher. Sometimes I think in our profession we forget that all we are doing is actually enabling someone to do their health in a better way. It's very rarely that I actually feel like I did something or saved something unless it was an emergency and think otherwise it's just making them do good choices and trying to take their ownership of their health. But I think my profession is kind of becoming more of like attacked by internet, attacked by people, attacked by everything. But there is something serene about being a physician, being a healthcare provider. So I want to take that and take it to the next generation and help them understand what a privilege it is to be a physician, but not to misuse it, but to make sure, like, to understand the core of what is to be a doctor and to remind them to kind of be sensitize them to the SRHR world.
Love it. Yeah, cool. Who else? What is your action that's starting to chip away at that burning question? Uh, Thank you. Cool. Oh, so no, you're good. It just, yeah, the interpreters need it to hear you, but we don't need it to come out at us through the mic. Okay. ¿Viene? No, no viene. Oh, you do, for the interpretation. Oh, sorry, there is a challenge. Let's try.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
And I'm also managing director for the Rwanda Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. So we do a lot of things, including advocacy, health education, yeah, and we also have residency program. We are training the future OBGYNs. And one of the things that I do to have like an impact, I work with national policies mostly. And whenever I go present something, they always ask me, where is the data?
Yeah.
Where is the proof? Where's the evidence? So I did dedicate half of my life to work on research. So when it comes to climate change, which was our topic, I try to show how pollution has a big impact on maternal health outcomes and neonatal health outcomes. So one of the research we did showed that women who have NCDs like hypertension, gestational diabetes, or pre-pregnancy diabetes, once they're in areas where there is severe pollution, then the outcomes become even severe compared to women who are in more protected environments. And we also showed like how menstrual hygiene is one of the biggest impact on the pollution. So when you see like menstrual products, how the way they're disposed, then that's one of the biggest like impact, you know. So we try to work on different aspects of research to kind of like raise our voices and make people who do funding on climate change to really increase when it comes to SRHR. And one of the challenges they always ask, by when I make a world a better place? Like, for example, if you're talking about like disposing, supply chain and all that, how can we do it better without involving SRH? And my answer is always like, why don't you give us big money and then we do research in different SRH aspects? Because if you ask us not to differentiate or divide the aspects of SRH, that's not going to work because we have family planning, we have adolescent health, we have menstrual hygiene, we have maternal neonatal outcomes, you
And
know?
so,
So
given all of these complexities, what's the one action for now? Because it's big and messy and crazy. What's that one thing?
research,
Okay.
data,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. Oh, I like it.
All right, yeah,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you. Nice. Okay, I think we have time for one more, but of course we have all of your actions on Slido, I hope. And if we don't, please share them there. I'm going to be sharing 2 or 3 tomorrow night at the closing. So give me your best stuff for that as well, please. Last action. What is one action you are going to take to start chipping away at that burning question? Yes. Yeah. Nice. Oh, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Thank you, Sarah, so much. I'll keep this super brief, but I think one action for me would be to make sure that my voice is heard in rooms, because a lot of times, uh, due to multiple factors, let that be you being in the youth range of, advocates in the room, or you being from a different country, or you being from a different race. There are times when your voice, you feel like it's heard, but a lot of time in action it's not translated, and that is something which it's not just me, but I think uh, multiple like it's happened in multiple instances for multiple individuals, and that is something which is changing. I feel like that this right here is one of the ways that we are bringing that change and making sure that every voice is heard, by asking what action you want to take, by making sure that we're addressing the burning question. So this is a spectacular example of how we are bringing that change. But I think that from the advocate side, it's necessary, and at least I speak for myself, but a lot of times I feel scared maybe to voice my thoughts, thinking that okay, it might be unpopular opinion. So maybe just, I think, I said I'll keep this brief, my apologies. um, but yeah, just making sure not to feel like, not to, thoughts are thoughts, every opinion matters at the end of the day. And I think that each one of us has a strong voice and needs to be heard, voiced in whichever room you are, because you're the only one who's going to be speaking for yourself at the end of the day. So thank you.
I love that. And who are you? Who are you?
Molly Mehta. Sorry, I thank you, Sarah. My name is Molly Mehta. Sorry, I couldn't actively take part yesterday, but I've been super excited for Ignite Nights, and I'm so honored and glad that I could share my thoughts and my voice with each one of you here. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah. Raising your voice in a room started tonight. Awesome. Okay. And we have 2 people with us here from the Coalition of Movements and Moments. We would like to invite them to tell us a bit about their action, and particularly what collaborative action, collective action, but collaborative action means. Uh, Steph Marriott, the midwife advisor to the International Conference of Midwives. What have you heard about collaboration? What type of collaborative action gives you hope? Thank you. We want to give you stickers. Sorry. Cool. Yay.
Well, thank you, and it's been great to hear. Thank you to translation as well, to be able to hear everything.
Yes.
You can hear me? Yeah, great.
Yeah, okay, good.
So from a collaboration perspective, I come from the International Confederation of Midwives, and Pana, my colleague, is from the Federation for Obstetricians and Gynecologists. And actually, we're doing some work together at the moment called Collaborate for Women, which is focusing on why midwives and OBGYNs need to work closely together, and what's necessary for that to happen. So we need to look at how power dynamics work in countries, so that health systems are deconstructed enough for us to collaborate. And we also need to identify what collaboration means for both of our professions. And also to look at what that means for women and the communities that we work for. So at the moment, we focus heavily on family planning and access to comprehensive abortion care. And we look at things both in service, so the skills that midwives and OBGYNs need to to provide family planning and abortion care. But also we will now go on to look at what pre-service education needs. If you heard Aparna in an earlier session, we've been talking lots about why that matters. We need medical students and student midwives to be educated to know what rights-based care is, what interprofessional collaboration looks like, and what collaboration with women and communities look like. And it was just as a reflection from what I've heard here today, it was nice to hear about how also we intersect with different areas. We've talked a lot about climate. I'm sad to hear SRHR is not really on the agenda next week. And so maybe we need our collaboration to expand beyond interprofessional to intersectoral. So SRHR is on the agenda next week.
Great, thank you. And I'll ask if you pass the mic to Aparna Sridhar, who is the professor in clinical obstetrics and gynecology and the division director of SRHR at the Federation of Gynecology and Obstetrics, the International Federation of Gynecology and
Yeah,
Obstetrics.
that is
There you
me.
go.
And I think I spoke about it. And I think, as I said, it feels like it's a privilege to be a provider who has the power to take care of people. But I think I want the next generation to be better than this generation. And I think it will be. So I always felt like if I had the power, I would change the school curriculum and make health a mandatory thing. And if I had the power, I would change the med school curriculum and made SRHR mandatory thing. I think I have more power of doing that, at least in a couple of schools, and I have no power in the school curriculum. I don't know why A square plus B square is equal to something needs to be learned and not vaginas and bodies. So I think that would be the change that I would do if I had all the power in the world.
I love it. Here's hoping you have it. We can give some more of it to you. Make that happen. Great. And part of this collaboration and this going from talking to action, did you? ¿Quieres decir algo? Go. Sí.
Lo siento, creo que estamos con el tiempo, pero me gustó lo que dijo. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Perdón. ¿De qué país?
¿Y cómo?
¿Qué país?
Reino Unido. Sí. Oh, you're right. Thank you.
Ok. Ha tocado una problemática muy grande para mi país. En mi país, parteras, midwives, seifen, obstétricas, en mi país somos obstetras. ¿Qué es lo parteras en tu país? Y estamos en una pelea, en una guerra campal con los ginecobstetras y las enfermeras. Tenemos una lucha muy grande, no es de ahora, es de hace muchos años, y lo peor es que no se está viendo el real problema, que es que estamos afectando a las mujeres del país. Por esta lucha de poder que se está dando, las mujeres son las principales desprotegidas. Creo que escuché que habían ginecobstetras de otros países. Me gustaría mucho que concienticen y vean la realidad de mi país. Me da mucha pena y mucha tristeza tener que colocar esto en mesa, pero es que mi población está desprotegida precisamente por eso. Nosotros hacemos todo lo que podemos, pero siempre tenemos muchas limitaciones, a pesar de que en mi país obstetricia es una carrera médica. Estudiamos entre 5 a 6 años solamente el pregrado. Y luego hacemos maestría, hacemos especialidad y muchas cosas más. Entonces espero que lleven a sus países esta problemática para que en algún momento, cuando se topen con ginecobstetras de mi país y quizá algún representante, puedan pedirle la explicación de qué es lo que está pasando y por qué están desprotegiendo a las mujeres de mi país por una lucha de poder que no debería darse.
Yeah.
Eso, muchas gracias.
Thank you. Great. And so, yeah, big actions and small actions that all need to be directed towards certain spaces and needs, populations and moments. And we're starting with one action, right? Cool. We are going to give you all a whole bunch of cards because you're going to give them to everyone else you see at the conference. If you run out, I will give you many more. We want to ensure that ICFP 2025 is not just lots of beautiful talking and learning and then nothing else, right? We are contributing to the next step with an action, with an individual action. And many individual actions together makes a whole big difference. If you were here yesterday, it's bringing your stone to make that bridge, or whatever we need to make together if it's not a bridge. So the invitation is to write down your action on your sticker, wear it. You can wear one today and one tomorrow if you'd like, but wear it tonight, wear it tomorrow. I'm going to call these out in the closing ceremony as well. I want to see as many people as possible having their action and wearing it. In French, it's the same word. That would be amazing. I'm going to hand them out as people walk in for the closing ceremony. Yes, I like it. And precede it. Give some to your collaborators, to the people you want to take action. Give it to the donor or to the executive director or to that person who's next to you at the office who you think needs to take an action. Find them in the hallway. Wear it. Why? Because you are proud of taking action and you want others to take an action. Also because collaborative action is key. If I see your action and you see mine and maybe we can do something together, all the better, right? Making the talk and the learning into action will be a critical part of making all of this travel, all of these expenses, all of this time, all of this effort and energy into something tangible. We don't just leave tomorrow and go, that was nice, right? So we are moving towards action. We're all going to help each other move towards action. I want to thank you so much to this small but mighty, mighty team. I want to, diapositiva? I want to also remind you that action without reflection can also be very dangerous, and that we have an equity pause checklist that is here to help you. It might be time to take an equity pause and think about this action that I'm taking. Where am I forgetting, undermining, conveniently leaving to the side equity? So let's act, but let's act with reflection. Voila. Thank you so much, small but mighty team. You're amazing. We are moving towards action together. We are bringing everybody else with us. I will see you tomorrow night at afternoon at the closing ceremony, where we will tell everyone else about our Chispa Calor Encendidos and the actions that we are taking